Alrighty guys, what's going on everybody? Welcome back here to another live stream. Hope everyone is having a fantastic day. Glad to have you guys here for another update. So we got a couple storms we're watching out here in the Atlantic. Things are finally starting to pick up a little bit. So we're going to go ahead and jump right on into it. But once again everybody, hope everyone's doing good. Hope everyone's doing well. Let's see who we got here today. We got ourselves Mark. We got Indiana. We got ourselves SPC and Tom. What's up, guys? Of course, everybody else who's watching here, too, and just not chatting. Hope you're doing good. What's up, Roy? Hope you're doing all right. But anyways, my friends, well, yeah, we have ourselves a couple storms that we are watching. We're going to hop over here to the Hurricane Center. Let's go ahead and bring y'all over here to the NHC. Actually, you know what? No, I need to redo my scenes. Hold on a minute, y'all. It's been a minute. I had to redo everything here, so let me switch on back here to the radar here for 1 minute. Let me move this over here, and then I'm going to move this up here. Okay, this should work. I forgot I changed everything, so everything's all over the place here. There we go. Okay, that's better. But anyways, well, yeah, what's up, guys? Hope everyone's doing well. Good to have y'all here. So, yeah, let's go ahead and hop over to the NHC. We're going to take a look at the latest. So we do got a couple storms we are watching for. They just literally updated this here just now. As you can see, we're almost at 8 o'clock p.m., or it is 8 p.m. now, but the update here is at 7:46. So we did have a little area we were watching just off the coast of Texas. That system has not developed. It's not expected to develop. They took it away. We got Disturbance 1 here, which is a tropical wave located just slightly west of the Lesser Antilles. They're south of Puerto Rico, which is north of Venezuela. So obviously, yeah, that storm there, we need to keep an eye out there for. It's area where it could turn into a tropical system is going to be here in this kind of orange circle. So this is where the system's at now. As the system goes into this bubble here, it has a 40% chance of development into a tropical system, whether it be in a tropical depression or tropical storm, who knows. We'll get into that here in a minute. But yeah, overall formation chances throughout the next 7 days is a 40% chance. 40% chance overall. And throughout the next 48 hours of the next 2 days, we're not expecting it. So yeah, it's going to go over the Yucatan Peninsula, more than likely, and down into the Southern Gulf. Now we have another area we're watching. I know it's kind of cut off here. Let me do this. Let me pull up my full screen here for you guys. Okay, that does the trick. I know it's a little cramped, it's a little squished, but you can see a formation chance on the bottom there. This one's all the way up to also a 40% chance of development, although this one has a 10% chance in the next 48 hours or the next 2 days. So there is a possibility of this storm turning into a tropical system here within the next couple of days. So we'll keep an eye out there for it. There's two different areas that we are watching. So I do want to take a minute. We're gonna hop y'all back over to radar for a second. I'm gonna pull up the models. We're gonna take a look at the weather models. We're gonna take a look at the latest GFS. We got the 18 Zulu run that just came out not terribly too long ago. So we got a relatively fresh model here for you guys. Let's go ahead and hop on over here. Relatively fresh model for you guys here. And like I mentioned, we are seeing that one storm just to the west here of the Lesser Antilles, and of course we have the other tropical system that we're watching here as well. We work our way down in time here, and you can see, according to the GFS, maybe some gradual development, or slow development of this system as it approaches the Yucatan. According to the latest run of GFS, it actually has this thing possibly being a hurricane as it approaches near the Yucatan Peninsula, going over the peninsula and then just kind of dying out. But wow, that's really interesting take. Look at that. GFS has it somehow resurrecting and coming back to life. According to the latest GFS, that's certainly an interesting run there. But yeah, you can see that this model has it going into the Gulf and then just kind of doing its own thing. But at that point, this is really far down in time. Obviously, it's a little bit too far to look at. So let's just keep an eye out for the next couple of days here. I will mention to you guys, we are coming up on the peak of hurricane season. Hurricane season peak is next week. next week. I believe it's the 9th is the day of the peak. What's up, Scott? Hope you're doing good, man. Glad to have you here. What's up, Anna? Hope you're doing good. Welcome, welcome. Hope you're doing fantastic. But yeah, it's definitely an interesting take from the GFS there. That's certainly interesting. But yeah, we'll keep an eye on it and see, what happens with it. From what I believe, so obviously between where we're at now, the storm right now is west of the Lesser Antilles. From where we're at now to the point where we get to like the kind of Western Caribbean here, it seems like development will be slow until we get to the Western Caribbean, and it seems like according to the GFS it opens up a bit. Let me try moisture. That could be an issue. There could be a couple issues. What's up, Kim? Hope you're doing good. Hope you're doing a wonderful night. You too, Kim. Hope you're doing good. Tabletop says, howdy, Andrew. Any threats for tropical weather on the East Coast? As of now, no. No. We should be pretty good. Okay, so it looks like moisture isn't going to be an issue. So obviously here in this kind of bluish green color, that's showing a lot of moisture in our atmosphere. Obviously the opposite would be here in the brown, kind of showing drier air. And all throughout the Caribbean, you can see, as we work way down in time, there's a good amount of moisture. So it doesn't really look like that moisture is going to be much of an issue for the storm here to begin with. So, or sorry, I should really say to end with. But yeah, it really doesn't seem like moisture is going to be much of a problem. So it could be due to wind shear. Let's try this here. Maybe not. Yeah, maybe not. No. Yeah, honestly, it doesn't look like the wind shear, according to this model, would be too great either. Let's grab a sounding just to kind of see what we're talking about. So, grabbing a vertical column here. Yeah, honestly, lower level winds are pretty strong, but that's probably from the cyclone itself. Yeah, honestly, it doesn't really look like, we're not going to have any wind shear. Yeah, typically the jet stream doesn't really alter this far south. Sometimes we can have, obviously, some strong, upper level and mid level winds, even at this latitude here, or longitude, or latitude. Latitude and longitude. But, overall, it's like, there is certainly a, it really does seem like the wind shear doesn't seem to be much of an issue, according to this model here. It just looks like maybe just some slow development overall. See, Texas currently has a little moisture. So does Africa. I was reading up. Africa actually has been getting a lot of moisture here. Let's hop over to northern Africa here. PWAT was pretty high across some of these regions here. The anomalies. This isn't the anomalies, of course, but the precipitable water has been pretty above average throughout Africa. They've actually been getting a lot of precipitation, which is not like Africa. I mean, as you know, we have the Saharan desert out here. It's relatively always dry for the most part. But no, not recently. It's actually been quite opposite for the most part. There's been quite a bit of dust too out in the Atlantic. Let's see. I heard about it. Yeah. It's been pretty crazy. It's been pretty crazy in Africa. It's not too often you really see a lot of rainfall for that region. It's usually pretty dry. Shane, you as well, man. Happy Labor Day to you. Hope you're doing good, man. But anyways, so once again, according to the the GFS, you can see really that there's a lot of precipitation that comes a hold. Once we get towards, kind of the southern and western Caribbean here with that system, according to GFS, rapidly intensifying before approaching the Yucatan Peninsula. So that's one model. That's one take. Let's take a quick little look here at the eastern Atlantic here. Actually, we're just going to pull up the North Atlantic here. So with that second system, you can see, according to GFS, it kind of pulls north, kind of goes near the Cabo Verde, and then tracks to the west. Now, it looks like there could be a bit of dry air getting into that storm there. You can see kind of in the brownish kind of colors here. That's showing that there's a bit of dry air. That would probably be the end of the storm. So, honestly, I'm not expecting much out of that second one. Even if it can develop, I'm not expecting a lot out of that one there. So, we'll have to keep an eye out there for that. It's interesting. yeah, GFS. This run is certainly an interesting run here. You can kind of see it sparks off another low heading towards Florida. But this is really far down. This is for the 13th. I mean, this is still multiple days away. But anyways, yeah, we'll have to keep an eye out there for that. But yeah, the main thing there is, according to GFS, the latest run shows maybe a hurricane hitting the Yucatan. Let's drop to the 12 Zulu here. This is the previous run before that. This one, much weaker, and really doesn't do much. Okay, yeah, quite a bit of a change here. What's up, Jake? Hope you're doing good. SPC says, is it rare for frost advisory in New York? Because western southern tier is under one. Really? Wow. I mean, we are now officially a meteorological fall. That started yesterday. We must be getting like a cold front or something down there. Matter of fact, yeah, it looks like it. Look at that air mass right here. See it? So there's a big punch of cold air coming down from Canada. Here, let's take a quick peek at that. Real quick. Yeah, you can see high pressure is building in. It's actually a bit of cooler high pressure. Let's pull up our temperatures. Thermodynamics here. Let's take a look at the temperatures here. Oh, wow. Yeah, look at that. So some areas, yeah, could get pretty cold. This is for tomorrow morning. Look at that. Temperatures down in the 40s and even upper 30s in some places, according to GFS here. That's quite interesting. Let's try like NAM. Not as cold, according to NAM. Maybe some. Well, there's some pockets that could even approach freezing, according to NAM here. This is showing, right at the coldest point, which is 7 a.m. Maybe some of those upper levels, those upper elevations might be able to reach freezing. That's certainly interesting. Let's try like HRRR, the HER model. Let's do 22 Zulu. 22 Zulu is probably the best option here for us. Okay, so coldest point. Yeah, HRRR doesn't show it as cold. Maybe getting down in some spots, like maybe in the lower 40s, maybe upper 30s. Yeah, lower 40s there, you can see. Yeah, so, I mean, makes sense. I had to sneeze. Of course, every time I have to sneeze, man, on the stream, it always goes away. But yeah, so it doesn't look like that's going to be a thing. You can see that's just from a cold air mass coming down from Canada overall. Anyways. All right, let's hop back to the tropics here real quickly, guys. We're going to look at the euro now. I do want to pull up ECMWF, take a look at the tropics, see what the euro has in store for us. 12 Zulu run out. So, like I mentioned, we have two systems. Okay. Well, apparently euro doesn't really show a whole lot of activity. So we start right here. Working our way down in time, so it doesn't even pick up on any traction on that storm that's west of the Lesser Antilles there. Doesn't really pick up on traction out there. You're welcome, SBC, no problem. But yeah, really doesn't pick up on traction, which is good, definitely. Let's try CMC here. See what CMC has to show us here. Let's see. Okay, so we work our way down in time here. CMC also really seems to be maybe dropping support with that system. Obviously, that is a good thing. Hopefully, we'll continue to lose support of it. GFS so far is like really the only one in the latest runs that really kind of show that system kicking off. Jake said, I was wondering if there's any upcoming severe storm threats for the U.S., particularly east, central, and eastern U.S. over the next coming days and weeks. If you could go over some of that, that would be great. Of course, Jake, I got you, man. Yeah, so we'll get back in more of the tropics here in a minute. But yeah, let's take a look at the let's go ahead and take a look at the SPC real quickly. We're gonna hop you all over here to the SPC. We're gonna pull this up for you. Oh, here we go. Okay, so today we got a little marginal, just a little marginal threat today. No tornadoes, thankfully, so nothing too crazy. Damaging winds, we got a 5% chance for damaging wind gusts up there towards like northern Nevada, portions of central and southern Idaho, portions along like central, kind of eastern areas of Oregon, and a little bit of Washington State. No hail, just a wind threat today. A little bit of winds possible. Tomorrow, got a pretty big marginal. Look at that. Look how big tomorrow's threat is. So across the dark green here, we have a potential for a couple severe storms. No tornadoes tomorrow either. It's a Rocky Mountain threat for portions of a lot of Montana, a lot of Wyoming, Utah, bits of Idaho, bits of Colorado included. Some of the northern plains out there by like the western Dakotas. Seems like main threats for damaging winds out there across the 5% region. So within 25 miles of your location, if you're in the brown here, there's a 5% chance that damaging winds could occur, ranging between like 60 and, at worst case scenario, like 70 mile per hour wind gusts overall. So. And of course, hail. We have a little bit of a hail threat, you can see, going from the wind threat here to the hail threat. It's a lot more shrunken, but this includes like portions of like central, southwestern Montana, places like western Wyoming, eastern Idaho, for maybe some hail ranging between 1 and 2 inches in diameter. So nothing too excessive, but still a bit of hail could be possible. Day 3, wow, a lot bigger of a marginal here. Look at that. This is for Wednesday. This goes still from the Rockies through the plains and even upper Midwest out there towards like Minnesota, central portions of the central and northern plains here towards the Dakotas and Nebraska at risk here for severe weather Wednesday. Same thing for the Rockies out there along Colorado, Wyoming, and Montana. Once again here for Wednesday. Just level 1 threats, nothing really excessive. I don't see anything like in the extended range according to the SPC. Let's hop over here real quickly. But we're gonna do a little bit more of an in-depth viewing here. So let's go ahead and pull up the GFS. We're gonna hop you all over here to here. Let's go ahead and hop you guys over here real quickly. To this page here. Yeah, this is a new program I absolutely adore. It is beautiful. We're gonna take a look here at the upper level winds here. We're gonna see if there's any like troughs or anything. So we're gonna turn on the mid-level winds. We're gonna turn that down just a tad, and of course we're gonna add like let's see here. Thermodynamics and CAPE. We're going to add some instability layer here. There we go. And there we go. That should be pretty good. Anyway, so yeah, we do have that trough right now. You can see that dip in the jet stream right over the northeast here. That is from, like I said, that air mass is coming down. It's bringing a bunch of cooler air down to the northeast. That's why we're, getting those frost advisories that, SPC was talking about there. Because of this trough, and this thing is just bringing down a lot of cooler air from up north overall. So now this is our instability layer. This is where the unstable air is. As you can see, there's no instability up here, so there's really no risk for like severe weather or anything like that up there. Now, if we had instability, that would have enough wind shear to actually get some pretty organized severe storms. But since there's none up there, we're pretty good. Meanwhile, we have what we call ridging. We got a central high pressure here in the central U.S. here. Basically, just a big old dome of high pressure. You can see that the winds flow clockwise for a high pressure. So you can see how the winds kind of go around that central high there. So yeah, bit of calm conditions for now. Up there, and of course across the Pacific Northwest here, we got little bits of instability up there towards like Oregon and Washington State. A decent amount of wind shear in those Rockies. We work our way down in time though. As we pronounce further down in time, you can see that we do accumulate some instability over the Rockies here. At this point, this is for getting into Wednesday here. So this is for Wednesday at this point in time. You can see some instability kind of develops throughout the afternoon and the evening here for Wednesday. Across portions like, Wyoming, Colorado, Utah, some of those areas in that marginal we were talking about, and the wind shear out here seems to be, I wouldn't say necessarily like super, super strong, but it's certainly, enough to get some, organized severe storms going here. Our mid-level winds here, 20, maybe 30, 40 knots in some spots, could allow for some storms to be, going for a little bit. So then we work our way down further in time here. As we approach our way into Thursday. Yeah, so as we get our way into Thursday here, give it a minute. This thing is a little bit slow sometimes. But yeah, as we get our way here into Thursday, you can see that there's a bit of instability that kind of builds up out here towards, like Iowa, towards like Wisconsin, Illinois, going down there towards like the Central Plains and stuff like that. So that's fuel for thunderstorms. Is there a lot of fuel? Not really. The most of the instability I'm noticing, though, is out there towards like northern Illinois. You can kind of see there. Could have a good amount of instability out here. Let's try the NAM here. I'm going to pull up NAM, see what NAM has to show us here. NAM does show, still some instability in this region here. You can see a bit more out there towards the Central Plains, according to this model, with our jet stream altered to the north. So more than likely, some of the stronger storms will be towards maybe like the northern side here, where you have the best mixing of your wind shear and your instability in the atmosphere. So that's something we need to look out there for. Yeah, you can see the jet stream in that case overlapping the instability up there. So we have this big old dip in the jet stream. We got a low pressure system coming down through Canada. Once again, this is for like late Thursday. You guys can see in the top right, late Thursday here, in which that certainly does seem to be a possibility. Jet stream kind of going down here, that counterclockwise moving low pressure system, as they do in the northern hemisphere. Let's see. I'm feeling a bit colder down here in New York City. Could be from the trough you showed. Yeah. So there, like I mentioned right now, there is a trough at the current moment for you guys. You can see the dip in the jet stream here. We're gonna turn off the instability for now. But yeah, you can see that there is certainly a dip in the jet stream for you guys, and this is actually bringing down that cooler air from up north. From Canada. And this is actually bringing it back, towards you guys, bringing in that cooler air. And of course, as we mentioned, we work our way down in time. You can see how, as we progress down in time, that jet stream kind of rolls its way out away from the northeast here. And then as we approach our way into like Wednesday, we have another low pressure system that develops up there. It's still loading some of those frames there. But another low develops up there towards, Canada, which swings down another dip in the jet stream here for the north. So you can see that. So that's right now with the current one. And then later on here for like Thursday going into Friday, we have another dip in the jet stream here. So we'll definitely be watching that. Instability, like I mentioned, there could be some instability for severe weather, possibly there towards like the the central and central U.S. Towards like Missouri. It depends. Like I mentioned, this model has some of the strongest wind shear being up north, kind of offset from our instability. Our winds are going to be fairly weak out here towards these regions here. So that's really one of the only things I see. Let me pull up the some of the other models here. Let's go back to, let's try Euro. Yeah, let's take a look at the Euro. So Euro actually shows that jet stream maybe a little bit further down south. A lot less instability, of course, according to the European model here. It really kind of removes a lot of that instability for areas like, Illinois and such. So, I mean, as you can obviously tell, there is a bit of uncertainty here. There is definitely a bit of uncertainty here. Hopping over the GFS here, the American Long Range. We're going to take a look at the GFS's perspective here, which this model has, some more instability out there, actually showing instability out there towards like Illinois and Wisconsin maybe. So, it's still a little unknown exactly how much instability, where all this instability is going to be ending up. but certainly we'll keep an eye on it. And severe weather does seem to be possible out there. Now, obviously, like looking at the instability here, there's a big cap. You can kind of see it on the bottom right here side of the screen. That's a big cap. That would actually be really difficult for storms to fire off. Matter of fact, storms probably would not fire in that environment. Just given how strong our capping inversion is, that would basically prevent those storms from firing. Another view here. North, the cap's a little weaker. Still solid amounts of instability there showed in our SKU-T plots. But yeah, it says tiny little cap still in effect there. Still in effect. So, I mean, we'll see. Obviously, we'll keep an eye on it. Let's try, I think your ECMWF has this too, if I'm not mistaken. Some models don't have SKU-T charts, which I believe this model does, if I'm not mistaken. Yes, it does. Yeah, but like I mentioned, this model doesn't show hardly any instability or any fuel for thunderstorms up here for this time. Like, while the GFS does, this model really doesn't. So, we'll see. I mean, we'll see. Obviously, all the models do show, this trough, this dip in the jet stream here. With some of that air coming down from the north heading to the south. That, like I mentioned, if some of the instability can get caught up in that wind shear, that could allow for some, some stronger storms potentially. So we'll have to watch. Good evening. Will the storm affect Jamaica? Okay, good question. So hopping back to the tropics real quickly, we're going to hop down here. So yeah, like I was mentioning, we are paying attention for you folks out there. We're going to hop here. Let's do this. We're going to reset this. I'm going to refresh my page here. We're going to hop down here. So we're going to take a look at the GFS. So yeah, like I mentioned, GFS had that system like impacting the Yucatan. Let's pull up precipitation here. We're going to do reflectivity, fill. Here we go. Okay, so you can kind of see where that precipitation's at right now. So we work our way down in time. You can see a precip just kind of goes right over there. So you can see that Jamaica right here. The storm and a lot of the rain kind of remains slightly to the south of Jamaica, according to GFS here. This would be here for basically Thursday and Friday, late Thursday and into Friday. So we work way down in time, and GFS has this thing, rapidly picking up some strength, once we approach our way, towards and closer to the Yucatan Peninsula, eventually having the system, maybe a hurricane, according to the latest run, impacting the areas there, before kind of getting, swallowed up in the mountains of Mexico. So, you certainly probably could see some rain out of it. Let's try Euro, European ECMWF here. Euro didn't really show a whole lot with this storm here. Let's hop over here to Euro. Precipitation. I guess Euro doesn't have it. We can do total precipitation in inches, though. Let's see here. So, okay, so we work way down in time. So there's Jamaica. Yeah, I mean, Euro shows you maybe getting a little bit of rain, but not a whole lot. Not a whole lot, Jamaica not really getting affected by too much rainfall, according to the ECMWF, or the European model. So, we'll certainly keep an eye on it. Of course, the GFS, like I mentioned, the American model obviously shows a bit more for you guys, really kicking up some of those heavy rainfall totals. But we'll keep an eye on it, okay? Let's see. I was here when you streamed on Adalia and Debbie. Gotcha. Well, hope you're doing good, man. Glad to have you here. Let's see. I remember Andrew streaming on the night of Adalia. I don't know about that, but yeah, the Adalia stream was very, very interesting. That was a very interesting stream. That's back when I lived in Kentucky. Yeah, that was that last year? Yeah, last year. Yeah, that was quite a storm. Or was it last year? Yeah, it was last year. Sorry, my brain's just not braining right now. My brain's just not braining. But anyways, the GFS though, the American GFS was the one that showed, the storm actually doing something. While the Euro, like I mentioned, not not so much. Not so much. Here, let's turn on some barbs real quickly. We're gonna turn those off. Okay, here we go. Yeah, so let's work our way down in time here. So you can see, so these are surface winds, by the way, guys. Just want to go ahead and point that out there. So as we approach our way into like Saturday, you can see here that we have, here we go. Yeah, that low that develops out there. And it gets closer towards the Yucatan Peninsula. There you go. So these are like sustained winds here. You can see where that low develops. Like I said, GFS actually shows, that storm may be becoming a hurricane or some type of like tropical system. Let me grab a bit of soundings here just to kind of see what the atmosphere could look like in that storm. That's one of the things I'm concerned about, is like upper level winds maybe. Or looking at moisture. I know moisture is not a problem. Yeah, I don't think wind shear is going to be much of an issue either. Yeah, so that's good. But yeah, those lower level winds there could be like pretty strong. Yeah, these are sustained winds. These aren't even gusts. So we'll keep an eye on it. Like I mentioned, the GFS model, it's pulling an interesting run right now. But we'll keep you informed. Anyways, maybe at some point, Kenny, but not right now. But if you guys have any questions, feel free to let me know. Like I said, we're here for you. And like I mentioned, if there's any questions or anything you guys want me to take a look at, feel free to let me know. Let's go and hop over back to radar for a minute. So, in terms of current weather, we don't really got a lot going on in the U.S. I mean, we got a warning up in Canada, but that's not the United States. But otherwise, the U.S. is pretty calm. Like we mentioned, though, yeah, temperatures are a little not that low. That would be something else. Let's turn up our temperatures here. That's our wind speeds. Here we go. Let's go ahead and turn on. There you go. Yeah, so some of the temperatures up there right now, like in the 50s. But like I mentioned, we're gonna be getting into some of the realms of the 30s tonight, up in some of the areas of New England. So we'll certainly be watching out for that. Let's see here. J-Lord coming with a $5 super chat saying, "Today is my birthday." Well, J-Lord, happy birthday. Thank you so much for the 5. You shouldn't be spending your money on me, especially on your birthday. Come on. Thank you, J-Lord. Once again, happy birthday to you. I appreciate it. Thank you so much. Big shout out goes to you. Let's see. I have a feeling this will be a late season. What, hurricane season? Yeah, probably. We're already almost peak here. Like I mentioned, we are right at the top of the ladder, pretty much. I mean, the peak hurricane season's next week. And when it comes to it here, whenever it comes to it overall, it's like I said, we have that one system rolling through just west of the Antilles. Like I mentioned, it's still very much unknown with that storm. It's very, very much unknown with that storm overall. So, we'll keep on watching it. Thanks, and you're welcome. No problem, J-Lord. Once again, I appreciate it. Thank you once again. That was super, super sweet of you. Let's take a look here at the... let's go and pull up this real quickly. I have our... Here we go. Yeah, so this is our pressure here, you can see. So, yeah, once again, the GFS had this thing, kind of... maybe just like rapidly strengthening into a hurricane. We can see how, as we approach here, you can see the time in the top right. This is for like Saturday, kind of, morning, afternoon of Saturday. Central low's down to 1,004. And as we approach our way down into like Sunday for the afternoon, you can see we're at right around 998 or so. And GFS just, as we approach the Yucatan, has that system just really picking up quite a bit of strength, and that pressure, kind of rapidly dropping. The GFS on landfall has this thing, near like a 984 millibars or so. It has it, making landfall right there in the Yucatan. So, I mean, we'll have to see. I mean, obviously we have, some high pressure in the U.S. that's going to, keep that system away from us. Pressure is relatively normal over mostly of Mexico at that point, but so the storm's just not going to have really much of any movement. So that's good. I mean, it'll be out of the U.S. It won't be a problem for us. Then, of course, like I mentioned, we have another system over here. I know it's a little glitchy. My bad, y'all. We have another system over here that, could develop near the Cabo Verde. Maybe a tropical depression at most, I believe. I mean, it seems like the dry air is going to be really taking over that storm, which is just going to allow for this guy to just kind of fall apart and weaken, as you can see there. If I turn on precipitable water, which we'll go ahead and show you guys that real quickly. If I turn on precipitable water here, which we're going to turn that down just a bit. So the brown's kind of showing some more drier air, and the blue kind of showing some more moisture-filled air. So as we approach our way down in time, actually we'll go back in time here. Yeah, so you can see the pressure here. While it starts to drop, we have a good amount of moisture, but as we approach our way to the further to the northwest here, we start to get more drier air getting towards it, which is what's going to end up, probably just killing that storm off there. So we'll have to keep an eye out there for that. I know this program's a little glitchy, but it's such a great program, though. I love it. But yeah, we'll see what happens. We'll definitely keep an eye on it. And, like I mentioned, GFS here showing this guy. So GFS does have it redeveloping in the Gulf, which is very interesting, as you can see there. But we'll keep an eye on that. Yeah, the main thing is just we just got to focus over the next couple of days first before we get too far ahead of ourselves, I mean, like I mentioned, it's not even sure that this thing's going to be, a tropical storm or a hurricane yet. And while the latest GFS has it going here. Let's drop back to the 06 Zulu run from this morning. So this model run had the storm, not as strong, of course. Not as strong. So the latest one has the pressure down in the 980s. That would make it like tropical storm or low end hurricane. Meanwhile, the run from this morning, the 06 Zulu, has it substantially weaker, and it tracks into the Gulf here, which then picks up some intensity. Then hits Mexico, according to... Yeah, models are all over the place, man. They literally are all over the place here. So, let's see here. Tabletop says, well, we haven't had we didn't see that coming moment this hurricane season. Hey, you know what, though? Beryl was a big, we didn't see that coming storm. Tabletop, I have to respectfully disagree with you on that, because Beryl became a Category 5. Yeah, that was not expected. Nobody was expecting the thing to become a Cat 5. She did. She became a Cat 5. Not to mention, just how it strengthened, how it hit. It was just a bad storm. Bad storm in general. Could have been much worse, of course, for impacts on land, but it was still a really bad storm, and it hit Texas. But yeah, other than that, yeah, I mean, this season has been relatively mild, let's be honest. It has been mild. The reason is because there's a lot of dry air, a lot of dust. Yeah, a lot of dust up in the atmosphere that's kind of really stunting a lot of that growth for a tropical activity. But anyways, I mean, we still have a lot of the season to go, man. I mean, even though we're almost peak, once again, next week is peak hurricane season. We still got all of September, October, and then to the end of November. Is the end of hurricane season. So obviously we have still a couple months to go, and there still could be multiple storms. Things could blow up at any time. I mean, given how warm sea surface temperatures are out in the waters, they're very hot, very hot. And, obviously it doesn't all come down to sea surface temperatures. Once again, moisture and wind shear is a big problem, for storms. If you have a lot of moisture, that's good for storms. If you have low wind shear, which is low winds, that's not a part of the storm itself, that is good for the storm. But if you have, no moisture, then you're not going to get any thunderstorms convecting and, organization and overall strengthening or sustainability of those storms to occur. And of course, if you have strong winds, it's just going to kind of collapse itself, kind of choke it out, per se. Let's see here. Saharan dust seems to have been suppressing these systems. Yeah, it's kind of been a big issue this year. It's just a lot of dry air, a lot of dust just kind of getting in the way. It's probably going to be like that for, a little bit longer. I think by mid-month this month, it could really start picking up. As long as that dust goes away, man, then we will be set maybe for some activity. Well, what kind of stuff we got going on over here? There's is it called the Fujiwara effect? I don't know how you say it properly, but it's basically two low pressure systems dancing around each other. Look at that. So if you ever wonder what happens whenever two low pressure systems collide, they kind of dance around each other. And what's really cool is that this is just a really big property in nature. Even on the astronomy scale, if you have two planets that come near each other, they act very, very similarly because their gravitational forces affect each other. Kind of similar in this case. The morning run this morning had a pretty interesting take on that one system. Why is there what the heck is that? What the heck is that? Okay. Whoa. Holy cow. What is that? GFS shows, I think that might be a non-tropical low. Jeez. That's like a 984. That's... Let me pull up our winds here. Let's do surface. Yeah, we're gonna pull up our lower level winds here. I guess we got wind gusts we can pull up. We'll do point here. We'll do a grid. Hopefully it can load. Here we go. Perfect. So yeah, this is a grid in knots, which a knot is lower than miles an hour, by the way. Wow, dude, look at that, showing like 50 knots or so. That's really strong. That is really strong. What is the new GFS? I don't think the new one really picks up on that as much, does it? Definitely not. No. It still has that low. Still has that low pressure system, but it's obviously not as developed per se. Yeah, Beryl was a beast, wasn't it? Like I mentioned, yeah, Beryl was just a storm that we were not really expecting. Like I mentioned, when I was forecasting, I knew it was heading into conditions where it would strengthen pretty quickly before it reached that wind shear up in the Southern Caribbean. But and it didn't even handle that wind shear like a champ. That storm, was forcing I think like 30 knots of wind shear, and it was holding on for its life. And obviously it weakened a bit, but it was, yeah, it held on, man. It held on, which is just wow, unbelievable. That storm really, took some records there. That storm was definitely a storm for the books, I'll tell you that one. Anyways, but yeah, so interesting takes. Obviously the GFS models, you can see from the last couple runs, are certainly, certainly kind of all over the place here. Surprising for how small it was. Yeah, no, for real. It was really an interesting storm. It was a very interesting storm. I will definitely remember that storm for a while. I used to think it was Burl, and I made fun of my mom for calling it Beryl, and turns out it was actually Beryl, so I was wrong. So, yeah. Anyways, we don't talk about that. We got a new day one SPC outlook just came through. A little marginal up there in Idaho, and as well as Oregon and Washington there. Here. You can see that we have a little marginal up there. Other than that, there's nothing. Yeah, we looked at the SPC a little bit ago, but nothing crazy severe weather-wise. Yeah, we don't got anything big in the weather world coming up for severe weather. Obviously, I mean, we have those marginal days. Just going to hop you all over SPC real quickly. We have those marginal days that we're watching. So first of all, today, they like I said, they just updated that. That's not the official one. That's not the latest one. But yeah, here's tomorrow being Tuesday's outlook. A day for the Rockies. Once again, no tornadoes, just wind and some small hail in a localized region there of Montana, Wyoming, and Idaho. I remember when I joked about the model saying Cat 5 and realized, when it was still a depression. Crazy how it threw out everyone's ideas and strength into a level of strength. Yeah, I know. I don't think anybody really expected that storm to do what it did. That was certainly the storm of the year. Absolutely the storm of the year. By far. Yeah, Beryl was a beast. Especially for the second named storm of the year. It's like that was the first hurricane of the year too. First hurricane of the year. The first storm, I believe, was just wasn't it just a tropical storm? Alberto, is that right? Alberto was the first one, right? And I think I forgot what Alberto did. Did it hit Texas? No, Beryl hit Texas. I know that. Alberto, I don't remember what happened. But Alberto, I believe, was just a tropical storm. I know it didn't. I'm pretty sure it didn't get to hurricane strength. But Beryl was the first hurricane, and the first hurricane of the year became a Cat 5. It's like, what the heck, dude? Just wild. Yeah, nobody was expecting that. It was definitely not on anybody's playing cards. Alberto is a tiny tropical storm. Wait. I remember a few storms that, now that I think about it, down in the southern Gulf. Down there towards, like, Mexico. I can't see it on the map, but down here. Maybe that was it? Alberto hit northern Texas. See, I know Beryl hit northern Texas. I don't know about Alberto. Didn't Alberto hit Mexico? God, I'm going to look this up now. I literally... This is driving me crazy. This is literally going to drive me crazy. Let's see. Tropical storm Alberto. Alberto hit... Yeah, it hit Texas and Mexico, it looks like. It's not really giving me much info on here. I think Alberto hit northern Mexico. Northern Mexico? Yeah. Let's see. Oh. Yeah, so it was northern Mexico where it hit. Anyways, back to SPC here. So then we work our way over here into Wednesday. Wednesday. Got a big marginal, big level 1 threat for severe weather. As of now, nothing excessive. Nothing outbreak or anything like that related. Just, some marginalized low-end severe thunderstorms possible across the dark green. Pretty isolated, more than likely, too. That's for Wednesday. Here, let's hop back over here real quickly. So, let me pull up the NAM. We're going to get the NAM model here. Some people call it the NAM model, the NAM model. So, we're going to pull up CAPE, of course. We need our instability. And then we're going to pull up I guess we'll pull up our lower level shear. Let's do 850 millibars. Good, like, inflow layer type stuff here. Do barbs, get rid of the fill. Here we go. Okay, so we, what did I say, Wednesday. This is Tuesday. Getting into Wednesday. Here we go. This is Wednesday. Okay. So, for late Tuesday, we have a good amount of instability up there. Look at that, according to NAM. Yeah, look at that. So, this is for Tuesday. For late Tuesday, showing a good amount of instability. Let me try okay, I can't do soundings on this one, unfortunately. Why is the program being so slow right now? It is not liking what I'm doing right now. But anyways, yeah, so it does show that. Then we work way further down into Wednesday. Hopefully we'll get some. Here, let me oh, there we go. Yeah, so this is for, there we go, that's better. This is for late Wednesday here. This is for kind of the afternoon, kind of evening of Wednesday. And you can see that there is some instability out there in that margin risk area. You can see the trough here. We do have about 30 knots of lower level shear. See that? Our 850 millibar shear, which is our like lower level winds here, I think could support tornadoes. In theory. And you can see that the jet stream. So you got some southerly flow above, and then you got your northeasterly flow. Where your instability is. That. Let me try mid-level shear here. Let's pull up our 500 millibar shear. Let's see how it changes. Upper air, 500 millibar barbs. Here, we'll make our mid-levels yellow. How about that? Give it a minute to properly adjust itself here. Let me make those yellow. Okay. Go up above. Maybe if shear would work. I guess 500 millibar is not one to work for me right now. But anyways, it looks like, according to NAM, that there probably could be some support. Let me take this over to a different program, one that's not really laggy right now. Let's hop over to this here. We're gonna fit that screen. Yeah, let's take a closer look at that. Same model. So yeah, we approach into, what was it saying, Wednesday? We're gonna have to go a little higher up here. There we go. So yeah, there's your streak of instability. Looks like there might be a cap in place. It could be a problem for the storms trying to develop, maybe. Yeah, that's for late Wednesday. And our lower level shear is, yeah, look at that, about 30 knots, 30 knot shear. Mid levels, they do veer more easterly at lower speeds, though. Let me grab a sounding. Trying to get one that's too capped out. Here, we'll full screen that for you guys. Yeah, I don't like those lower levels. Yeah, I'm not a big fan of that sounding. Let's try another one here. Let's try to get another one. Yeah, not much veering, according to these. Maybe our shear is a little more ahead of the instability there. Yeah, there you go. There's more. Well, that's definitely a veering pattern there. Maybe, but there is a bit of a cap there. That's what I was saying. You know, there's ingredients are nearby, all together, but there's some little things that need tweaking. Let me try like GFS here. What does GFS show? Yeah, GFS doesn't even show any instability out there. Look at that. There's no thunderstorm juice according to this model. Well, NAM showed quite a bit. Yeah. I don't know, man. I guess we'll just have to find out and see. Here's NAM 3K or NAM Nest. Yeah, look at that. Shows a little area there. Let me grab a sounding in that little line. Probably going to be contaminated as crazy because it's probably a part of a QLCS, but we'll see. Yeah, interesting. Yeah, but the GFS, the American model, didn't really show anything. So, yeah, definitely lower levels are a little iffy right now. There is a little bit of veering, though. There is a little bit of veering wind shear there. Dew points are perfect. Okay. You know, upper 60s, lower 70s. Not bad, not bad. But yeah, our shear is Not anything excessive, of course, but we'll have to see how it plays out. I mean, obviously, we're going to wait a couple days and see as we have that low pressure system rolling through. Another dip in the jet stream. You all can see the wind barbs coming down from north, and then as you get ahead of that line, they go up to the north here, or they go to the north from the south. Then we had mediocre hurricanes after. I don't know if that's the correct word, with Debbie and Ernesto. Debbie was actually a pretty bad storm. I know it wasn't a strong storm. I mean, obviously it was a Category 1 was its max peak. I think it maxed out at 80 mile an hour sustained as it hit Florida, the peninsula. Or, sorry, not the peninsula, Panhandle is what I meant to say. Yeah. The main problem with Debbie was rain. There was a lot of rain. I'm here in central Florida, right in the middle of the Panhandle. And we had like 6 inches of rain from that storm. It was certainly quite a bit. Certainly quite a bit. Those F name storms are really gnarly. The I name storms are the worst, I think. Irma, Ian, Adalia. Let's see here. What else we got? Ida. List goes on. Yeah, that's 4 years of really bad hurricanes, and they're all pretty bad. Let's see. It was bad, especially if that stalled. Yeah. It did stall over the Carolinas, didn't it? Debbie did. Kind of a big issue. Jumped a lot of rain for you guys down there. I think about Fran and Florence. Florence was bad for you, Tabletop. Yeah. I don't remember Fran, though. That I really don't remember. Anyways. All right, guys. Well, we're probably going to roll off here soon. We've been live for about an hour here. Just wanted to touch up on the models, touch base with you guys. You know, like I mentioned, severe weather-wise, there's not a whole lot. We'll keep an eye out for Wednesday, for late Wednesday up there towards like the plains, northern plains. We'll see what happens. We'll definitely keep an eye on it. Yeah, we'll keep on watching and just kind of see what happens there. But if you guys have any questions, you know, before I roll off here, feel free to let me know. Like I said, we'll be here to answer your questions before I head off. Should I be concerned about the 6th and the 7th in Johnson City, Tennessee? Nah, there's nothing to worry about. Forecasting that far out, there's currently no active risks for your area, so you should be good for now. We'll see how the environment changes. I mean, that's still, you know, a couple days away, and there still could be some changes in the weather by then. But from what it looks like, I don't see anything massive for really anywhere in the U.S. You know, anything like super crazy, like you know, severe weather related. Tropics. We'll keep an eye on the tropics. Right now, there's no threat for the U.S., which is good. I want to keep an eye out there for the Caribbean, the Southern Caribbean areas out there by the Yucatan. I want you guys to keep an eye out there for it. But other than that, it's, yeah, really not a lot going on. Really not. I mean, both in the tropics and in severe weather land. I mean, we do got that one storm out by the Cabo Verde, but that one's just going to kind of remain out to sea and just kind of die out. It could bring some rain for the islands out there, but honestly, really not going to be anything super crazy. Okay, guys. Well, that's going to go ahead and wrap it up. We just hit our hour mark. Thank you all for joining. Hope you guys have a wonderful rest of your night. We'll catch you all tomorrow for an update. We'll keep you guys informed and everything like that. But, alrighty, guys. Thanks for joining. You guys take care. Have a wonderful rest of your night, and we'll see you guys tomorrow. See you later, guys. Once again, J-Lord, thank you for the 5. I appreciate that. And happy birthday once again. Appreciate it. And alrighty, guys. Once again, everybody for joining us. If you haven't already, consider subscribing, leaving a like. Be much appreciated. And alrighty, guys. Y'all take care. See you later, guys. Catch y'all in the next one. Peace out.